All right, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, Crazy Crab? So, today's agenda. We're going to be hunting Parque Fernando, which back in the day was one of my favorite maps of all time. It's because they added mule deer, the water buffalo were insane to hunt, and well, it's been forever since I've actually played it, so here we are. I think what we're going to do first is actually change time because I'm very interested in adding a diamond axis deer. Now, we're on my own map for this today, so we'll see just how good we do, but I don't ever typically hunt. Actually, the last time that I was actively hunting Parque Fernando, I was actually grinding for a red deer great one. All my tinsel tripods got deleted and I stopped going. So there's actually no telling. There's a lot of ground to cover. Who knows what we'll find today? But I did bring along the old school loadout of the single shot 7mm Empress Magnum. We do have the Rangemaster 338 Championship, which is actually the weapon unlocked on Parque Fernando, doing all the challenges, which was probably my favorite mission out of all of them in Call of the Wild because, well, you get this really cool unique gun. And the only non-DLC weapon, or DLC weapon that I do have is the 22, but that's kind of my crutch, my kryptonite. I need to have that in my loadout. So without further ado, let's get started. Like I said, we're going to be looking for axis deer starting out, and then the red deer should be filtering in behind them. I'm not as interested in the reds, but like I said, I was actively grinding for a red deer great one on here, so there's a chance, maybe slim to none chance, but we'll be popping zones that weren't that popular when I was grinding, so we'll see. But I'm excited to get back out here. It's been a long time. There's actually, we've got a fleeing mule deer, and if we can hit him, we're gonna try it, because is that a good hit? Doesn't appear so. Rooks! We're a little handicapped by the action of this, but kind of show. There we go. That was good. We got him that time, folks. Luckily for us, he's on the way. And it's a little dark. I don't like that, but it should get brighter as we go. Surely by the time we get down here, it's going to take us a hot minute to walk. 14-minute walk. It'll be definitely a little bit brighter. But what I like about this map, it's one of those that has a really good combo of kind of everything. I mean, that would be insane, Rix. It's weird. This map, like, it's not dark, but it's like that waning or twinkly hour of the day here. But what's really cool about this map, what I like about it, and I don't ever see anybody ever playing it. And I don't think it's because it's not good. I think it's just one of those, maybe it's been forgotten about. I don't know. But this is a solid mule deer map, solid red deer map. There's water buffalo, there's axis deer, there's pumas. They actually backfilled, was it javelina, I think? Whatever that little pig thing is onto here. We've got cinnamon teal. All kinds of fun stuff. Emerald Coast in a lot of ways actually reminds me of Parque Fernando, but unlike Emerald Coast, you can see the dense forested areas are still pretty open and easily navigable. You can kind of see through them, which I like. The jungle on Emerald Coast is what's making me pretty hesitant when it comes to what everyone seems to want, which is an Asian map. And I don't know, if it's not like dense jungle, if I don't feel like I'm in the Idrang Valley or something in Vietnam, I'm good. But Rix and I were talking earlier while he was streaming, and if they were to do an Asian map and they made it kind of like Virunga, more of like a savannah map, that'd be cool. I don't know. Jaxi did say in his stream today in the next couple weeks they're going to be announcing something. Not the new map, but their next DLC, so. Here we go. We got our first Axis Deer level 4, it looks like. Now, we don't want to make the fool's choice here and just go to rack and rounds, because we could have more Axis nearby that I don't see or know about, and there could be an old diamond just hanging out. So let's go ahead, do our homework. We'll kind of ease a little bit closer here. Let's see any of this. Is a nice 4 though. In theory, there's no more rounds, so let's go ahead and pop this dude. A good old-fashioned 243. They probably should put an optic on that. I'll let him lift his head up. He's right at that range where things get weird. Nuked him. They'll be drinking for the next couple of hours. We're obviously not going to be getting all of their zones in. But this is definitely one of those target species that I definitely want to put in our 2024 lodge. Those of you around long enough may remember the good old-fashioned days of Axis Deer basically making diamond every time, and there were just like tons of them everywhere. It made for a good time. There we go, nice gold. Diamond being 217, so that he was kind of a stud, not gonna lie. I need to look up though, because they did change the colors on these guys. Make sure he's not uncommon or something like that. I don't think he is. Dark is uncommon, but we're looking for a melanistic piebald or albino. What's going on, Kevin? Yeah, the broken piebalds. I've got a couple diamond piebald Axis Deer in the OG lodge from the good old days. Another one way out there. Seems to be by himself, though. Now, the one big downside to Parque Fernando are these giant lakes that we're going to spend probably their whole need zone time trying to get around. Hey, don't you knock my super rare Axis Deer that I just happen to have 5 or 6 of, okay? You'll notice, though, I'm ethical about it, because when people ask me about super rares, I don't mention them because technically they don't count. I mean, we're going over there. Should I shoot that guy? It's kind of a long shot for the 243, but I think we should do it. Oh, hang on. There's more. There's more. They're rendering in. 370. I can't quite tell if he's facing us. I don't think he is. Let's get the 22 out here. Do the 22 trick. Yeet. There we go. Now, I don't know at this range if the 243 is going to have enough oomph to punch through that frontal. We're going to try it, though. Actually, you know what? We've got the Argus on us. Let's make it slightly easier on ourselves here. He's just facing away from us. Well, maybe we should get a little bit closer. It's out of render distance, so if there's... Oop, oop, what do we got? What do we got? Just spotted something. Another Axis deer. He's a little bit closer, and he's actually facing us. Like 300 meters is closer. He's going down. Hey, Carmen, thank you. Then once it gets nice and daylight, I don't know, honestly. We've got the 338. We may jump down here and just kind of like run the coast and find some capes. It's been so long, though, since I've played this map. It's kind of like a breath of fresh air. Kind of making the return. Ooh, we shot over him. That's a straight up miss. Probably shouldn't have started at the biggest lake on the map, but eh. Still wish they'd go back to the old school system of telling you whether it's a common or uncommon. If not having to remember max weights, max scores, you know, which level each animal, their max score or max level can actually be, like, drink zone times. Now I gotta remember which fur type's what. Wouldn't complain at all either about finding a blackback. That is one diamond I do not have from this map. And it's an exclusive diamond too, meaning it's only on this map. So I'd like to get one just in case in the future they were to add those to other maps so I could say, yeah, I got it on Parquet, the OG. We've made it about a quarter of the way around the map, or the lake. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I have no idea where he went. I think I saw, but there's so many mountain lions running around right now. I can't tell. This has got to be him chasing. Maybe we're going to get lucky here. And Wind is good, but with him chasing, I don't know. It would seem that he's actually coming to us. Let's go ahead and 0 to 150 here, get the 7mm out. What we need to do is get close enough to alert him. This dude is literally just going crazy right now. And of course now we spook him, but that's good news. That may break him out of that chasing enemy. Oh, actually, if he's just going to do that. That's a hit. Was it a good one? We got vital blood, baby. Let's go. Let's fingers crossed he's not a troll. Come on, let's go. Oh my gosh, he's a troll. One of the third animal that we see of the, well, fourth, I guess, if you're not including the mule deer, is a 9 legendary puma, and he ends up being a troll. We're like 15 minutes into this hunt though, so I can't complain. Let's see what else is out here. I mean, how that worked out and played out was crazy. The wind was perfect. He literally made a beeline to us. We didn't have to chase him around the map. Normally, when those cats are in that chase animation, it's really hard for him to stop. 7mm did its job, though. Man, I can't believe that. How cool would that have been if that was just a diamond off the rip? Okay, now we've got mountains to contend with. Random water buffalo tracks. I did not expect to see those up here. I'd say though, with that cat running around the way he was, they probably got spooked up here. It's alright, you're not late, you're not early, you arrived precisely when you needed to. Well, I'm kind of hyped now after seeing that. I'm really hoping there's something good on here. I mean, you can see there's still quite a bit of space that I just have never hunted on this map. We've got an entire trail system, entire valley that I've never even laid eyes on. This map's been out, what, 5 years now? Oh man, that would be insane. And honestly, there could be, like I said, I was actively grinding on this map, and you know, the way need zones work, there could be a new zone that I had no idea existed because these lakes are obviously giant. And yeah, there could be one. Kind of grinding in a way ruined kind of how I used to play the game. And I guess I'm not grinding anymore on this map, but historically you could have up to 16 tents. So I mean, we could have had, and I've got a couple sprinkled around, especially like this lake. This is a good lake, and it's really hard to get to if you don't have a tent sitting up there. But back in the day, we had those bad boys sprinkled pretty much everywhere, and we'd be able to get around the map much quicker. We're definitely going to be on the eye, or looking out for one of those cinnamon teal. It's actually, I think, the animal that I've got my furthest shot on, because there was a time, because there's so many big hills and stuff, you could see actually past technical render distance. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think they adjusted that with the Granite update, but it was cool because you could be shooting, you know, 450, 500 meters at ducks. I feel like too, this map is kind of like the Korean War, like the forgotten map in some ways, because this came out right after Virunga Savannah, so obviously Virunga is what it is. And right after this, if I remember, it was either Quattro or Silver Ridge Peaks. I can't remember. Maybe it was Medved. I don't know. There's another very popular map that came out right after this one. No, Medved was the first DLC outside of Leighton Lakes. I'm trying to remember the timeline. It's been a long time. Could run a tent with me so I can change time, but I'm not, I mean, I'm interested in Axis Deer, but maybe we'll get lucky and actually run into them, you know, just not at their drink zones. Sun is bright. Honestly, the only species that I'm not too interested in running into on this map right now is red deer. I mean, I'm going to shoot them if we see them, just because, like I said, I was actively grinding for them, but we've got enough red deer. Now here's the downside. We do see a diamond. Yeah, we're gonna have to make. I'll get a 4-wheeler or something. Right on FPS. This is definitely one of those maps you think twice about shooting something, because it's like, do I really want to go and collect that thing? What are the chances? Probably like a 5 medium. Need the sun to come up just a little bit more so it's not directly blind. We've actually got 2 male cats chasing something out here. I can hit that, but not a goose. I don't get it. It's actually really big gold. Alright, after a 9 legendary, let's go see what we can find here. I don't know, we may just run around willy-nilly and pretend like we're on a multiplayer map and just not really stick to a routine. Just find what we can. And then if we get desperate, start hammering out need zones. Never did see this guy take off. That is aggressive water buffalo coming out of nowhere. Where'd you come from, my guy? Let's go and pull out our championship 338. I don't understand. I think he's aggressive on the puma, not us. He's running away from us. That tells me he's actually chasing the cat. Oh, that's the 243, not the 7 for the 338. I didn't mean to just annoy you there. My bad. .243 though had enough oomph at that range to punch through into the test, and we might have actually killed him had we hit long. Again, one of those spots I just didn't expect to see water buffalo. There's an outpost at this lake, but, you know, we could run into something cool. Like that puma, that was completely unexpected, obviously, and I kind of want to do more of that, just kind of running through at random and just see what pops out at us. Ooh, hey, ladies. Don't mind me. I'm just looking for your boyfriend. Please leave me alone. It's definitely a cat over there because that male that we just saw was aggressive. She's fleeing. It's one of those maps. Glassing is super beneficial because it's tall stuff. You never know what's standing in there. "30 minutes past Axis drink time." There might be some Axis still here, but the Reds, in theory, unless the cats spook them, should be moving in. Go check out this mating call, see what's going on here. It's probably that 4 that we saw going bananas. Oop, that's a 7. Oh, hello. Just trying to shoot your buddy here. Oh man, we're getting tag team now. I need to break out the 454. Single shot weapon versus aggressive animals. Probably not the best of ideas. Oh no. Dang, we're like a pound away. What can I shave off here of my loadout that we don't need? Technically don't need the 338. We've got the 7mm. We don't need the Argus. What other crap do I have? Surely the Argus cleared up enough space for us. Half a pound, are you kidding me? Half a stinking pound. At least we're only like 2 miles away from our Bufaloos. Big access to your track. Not sure that 2s can make diamond, but we're gonna shoot as many as we can just in case. Hopefully he's going to get caught on that next peninsula over. This is definitely the most aggravating part about this map. These giant fingers, kind of like Yukon, where you think you can get around and it's just not possible. Hopefully my plan worked and he's just right over here. Now, if he kept floating, dang it, he didn't. I'd say he kept on floating. And we're not going back for him. Not sure why I've got a tent here, but I do, so let's go check it out. Oh, this is the big faraway lake. Okay, okay. I know where I'm at. Oh, there we go. That's a piebald, and that's a pretty... Is that just a 3? That thing's huge for being a 3. Anyway, piebald, hello. That's a decent 4. Okay, so there's definitely some axis deer up here. Let's get just a bit closer, though, before we get too carried away with ourselves. There's a crazy amount of axis deer on that hill over there, though. There's probably 30, if not more. Oh, nice. Nice, man. Or should I say, nice, man. Insert your name as my response. We're still half a click out from these dudes. Should be fairly open country, though. The shot shouldn't be terrible. The wind is blowing to him. That could be an issue, but... Heck yeah, that's awesome. Good old painted fabled one. Well, that stinks. That cat is basically right where they're walking to. You see, they're already attentive. If we can get eyes on, that's a big 4. If we can get eyes on that piebald before he goes over there. He may have already spooked. He was certainly with that group, unless he squeaked by us without us realizing it. That red's coming in. Where'd our piebald go? Didn't expect to see that mountain lion just hanging out there, to be honest. Part of me wants to try to shoot it with the 22 to get it out of the area, but I also don't want to 86 this and him end up coming in. I wouldn't stack a great one, honestly. I'd shoot that sucker. You never know, man. They could come out tomorrow and be like, yeah, we're doing a population reset. Gotta fix some bugs. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? And then there's an albino red deer? What is going on right now? Okay, so... What? Well, that's gonna definitely get spooked by that mountain lion. I was really hopeful that our piebald Axis was gonna be hanging out in this tall stuff. I don't think he is. The good news is we do have a tent. Oh, there he is, there he is, there he is. That's actually, you know what? I don't love the distance, especially with the 243. But I think we're gonna go for it. I mean, he's just a little dude, but he is a piebald. 310 to 350. Let's get an exact estimate. It's at 321. Let him lift his head up. That should do it. Yep, he's going down. Now, let's see. Did we spook our albino red deer? Because if not, we're going to go back to back here with rares. This is kind of wild. There she is. I'm pretty comfortable with the 7mm at this range. Not with their little friend in front of her, though. Oh, of course, we hit her friend. She's still nervous? Good, good, good. That's a hit. Question is, was it a good one? I don't think it was. In my defense, though, that's good looking 7. In my defense, I mean, she was at almost 400 meters and on the move. Good news is we did shoot her, though, so and I'm going to say, no, he's still standing there. You know what? We're going to shoot him, too, because he's just hanging out. I'll say this about stacking it. There's actually there's no benefit outside of possibly spawning another great one and being able to say you've got 2 in your map. Outside of that, it's not really going to do anything to you or for you. Like I said, if it were me, I'd shoot that sucker. I wouldn't stare at him. I've had too much crazy stuff happen in this game that the second that opportunity arises, I'd take him down. Kind of keep my eyes peeled here for a second, make sure that pipe or that albino doesn't come back shooting across. not going to shoot him just because that albino, even though she's just a female, still an albino. There he is. He didn't get too far. Heck yeah. Let's go ahead and taxidermy him. Alright, so far, we got a troll, 9 legendary puma, piebald axis deer. There's now an albino red deer cow out here running around somewhere. What is that? I'll say this though, I'm not too concerned about that albino, just because it is only a female, and I don't feel like chasing her everywhere unless we see her like out in the open again. Then we'll shoot her, obviously, but there's actually all kinds of stuff up here I didn't expect to see. Didn't expect to see that mountain lion. Didn't expect to see that many axis deer either. I knew the reds were up here. I also didn't think there was muleys, but guess there is. Need to keep that in mind whenever it comes their drink time. We'll jump back up here and see what's going on. Do you think I will crest this hill? And just see if we can see that. We'll give it a faithful effort, at least, of finding her again, but I'm not tracking her forever. I mean, there's got to be a diamond on this map, right? Might have been trolled. Got back-to-back rares. Got to be something good. Okay, so apparently there's all kinds of muleys up here. None of them are big. No, he's decent. No signs of our albino, so we're going to move right along. That's got to be a Wall of Shame edition, right? That level 1 Axis. I think we just got ourselves the newest member of the Small Boy Club. 53.65. I don't know how close or how small these guys can actually get, but we're gonna go and tax him so we can go in the Wall of Shame. Hey, those little guys like that, those are just as rare as diamonds, man. I mean, I said I wanted Axis Deer and we're running into him, so that's good. No 5s. Thanks, FBS. I appreciate that, man. I love you being here. Just hope we can find something cool. I mean, I'm feeling kind of hyped after, I mean, we've had really good luck. We still have 2 full-blown hours of hunting. Appreciate you stopping by, FPS. Man, I saw that rack. I was like, "Oh, is that a 9?" There it goes to show. It's a new zone. Like I said, I haven't touched this map since I was grinding for red deer and just found that. So there's really no telling what's on here. Late to the gun on that guy. Something just ran right in front of me. Probably one of those red deer. Ooh, that's a max weight kitty track after that 9. We should probably follow it. Never mind, it's just an 8. I mean, if you're just gonna stand there, buddy. Nice gold, dark red, uncommon. Wish I had more tents deployed, but like I said at the beginning of the stream, they were all literally deleted off this map. What's going on, Isaiah? That zone down there, that lake, we might actually drive. And honestly, what we might end up doing is ditch the 338. See if we can't... Well, I don't know if we'll be able to actually get a 10 on us or not. I really love the 338 though. Championship. Oh, we can get a tent. Nice. We may go ahead and deploy one down there when we get there. I like turtles too. They're pretty tasty. Alright, we're in that 500 meter mark. We're gonna go and jump off that noisemaker. I'm gonna grab a drink and auto walk. If you guys see any great ones or diamonds running in front of me, let me know. All the maps that we don't run into a tree on. I'm shocked. This little lake down here used to be the primo spot for Cape Buffalo. What's going on, Nathan? It's actually going pretty decent. We had a very beginning of the stream, we had a Troll 9 Legendary Puma. Didn't quite make diamond. And then back-to-back rares. We got a piebald axis deer and an albino cow red deer. Heck yeah, Isaiah. Rares are just honestly part of what keeps me coming back to this game, because you never know when you're going to find one. It's just, they're so random. Check the lake before we put a tent down, just so we don't spook anything that might actually be here. And then the next time we want to hunt parquet, I'll have the tent. I mean, I thought that was an axis deer. I was like, whoa. To me, so Wave the Hunter, I love that game. But honestly, trying to compare the two, it's kind of like apples and oranges. They're similar, but they're very, very different games. This one, in terms of just pure fun, this game would definitely win that category. This game's a ton of fun to play. But capturing that moment, that experience of the hunt, like, Way the Hunter definitely does that very, very well. But in Wave the Hunter, the herd management in that game is both what makes it amazing and makes it terrible at the same time. And I definitely don't play it as often as I should, especially now that they just released a new map. But again, it's where that's one of those games, like, let's say I didn't have Call of the Wild and I just had Wave the Hunter. Ooh, well, good thing we've got tents with us. On Wave the Hunter, because they have actual herd management where you actually have to manage your herds, and you know that dictates how big your animals are going to get, you know, the herd genetics and all that stuff. It's a really great concept, and it's pretty close to what you would do in real life. But the big drawback to that is when you're hunting and you kind of gone through your herds, you can't really shoot anything, so at that point you're just kind of like just walking around, literally trying to aid your deer, and that to me is what kills it. Is that another piebald? Nah, I think that was the lighting. BJ, the next map, I honestly have no idea. They've been pretty mum's the word on it. Oh, that is a piebald. Are you kidding me? That is the third rare we have found. I mean, she's going down. It's going to be kind of a hike, but let's go get her. I saw her moving through the trees, and I literally thought it was just like the shadows. And I was like, that kind of looks like a piebald, but nah, it's probably just the shadow. And sure enough. Okay, that's crazy. Anyway, going back to the map, I don't know. Jaxie did say that he can't say anything. I mean, he's literally obligated to his job. He can't say anything. I'm sure he's got non-disclosure acts, you know, signed and all that stuff. But he did say that it's going to be unexpected. So whatever that means. He said it will, quote, come as a surprise. But that's also what I would say, too, if I couldn't say anything about the new map coming out. See, I'm really biased, you know, North American big game hunter, and we need more elk maps, honestly. We do. We only have 2. Like a Silver Ridge 2.0 would be pretty lit. Hello, sir. Do you not see me just standing here? And I'm personally kind of indifferent when it comes to more exotic species, you know? I'm really not that interested in hunting like goats in the mountains somewhere. Unless they just did it really, really well. But realistically, again, unless it's some sort of kind of one of those you just don't hear about species, most of the big game species, there she is. Back to back to back rares. I mean, that's wild. I guess we'll go ahead and taxidermy. We hit a little high. I'm actually surprised that took her down, honestly, at that distance. But let's go ahead and taxidermy her. I guess we'll go ahead and put her in the 2024 Lodge. She is a rare that we did get on the grind, so that's a huge plus. But as I digress, what I was saying, you know, we've got axis deer, we've got roe deer, we've got red deer, we've got ibex. I keep seeing people clamoring for an Asian map, but outside of them adding something crazy like tigers or Asian elephants, I don't know if there's going to be a big draw to it. I mean, Emerald Coast is a great crocodile map. Meanwhile, if you want to shoot a Roosevelt elk, you have to go to Layton Lakes. I don't know. I just hope it's good, whatever it is. Now, I honestly don't even know what good is to me. The definition of perfect, though, in my opinion, for this game is Reventilli Coast. That game, or that map, is literally perfect. Outside of just having North American species on it, I probably wouldn't add anything else to it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm looking for with the next map. What's going on, Grim? I don't know. What do you guys think? What are you looking for in the new map? Actually, we've been pretty lucky on this hunt. We just shot the, I don't know if you saw it, we just shot a piebald red deer, piebald albino, red deer, female. And then we shot a piebald axis deer. Level 3 male. I don't think that was a good shot. He's probably going to die because it's 7 mil, but... See, what my thing again with the, if the species are going to be unique, they need to be really good to hunt, fun to hunt. Like I said, if I want to go shoot ibex, I'm going to go to Quattro. But if it was a map that was kind of like Virunga, but Asia, you know, kind of an open, broad map, that'd be cool. Grasslands or savanna somewhere. But what really put a bad taste in my mouth for an Asian map was actually Emerald Coast because, well, it looks like this, just way thicker and harder to see stuff. And I don't know, I don't feel like getting crazy with, you know, stealth, trying to hunt down a hog deer, you know? Then again, I don't want to sound biased, even though I am. I need to put my foot in the other shoe and realize that there are hunters all around the world, and some of those hunters would love to see what they love to hunt in the game. I think a big problem too is because there are obviously a lot of maps in North America. People, I think, fail to realize how big North America actually is. What's going on, Statler? It's time to take a stroll down through my favorite area in this map. I don't know. We'll see, though. The world's a big place, and there's a lot of options. Like I said, though, unless they start encroaching on those weird species that, like, are very niche to small zones, we kind of have it all, you know? There's obviously some ram species and some ibex and goats and stuff like that, sure, but by and large, the big popular species, they're in the game. But going back to, you know, if I want to shoot a Roosevelt elk, I have to go to Leighton Lakes. If I want to shoot a blacktail, I have to go to Leighton Lakes. If I want to shoot a Rocky Mountain elk, I have to go to Silver Ridge Peaks. Still no dove hunting in the game, still no squirrel hunting in the game. That'd be a nice addition. And I've seen a lot of excuse makers talking about, oh, well, squirrels are too small. Bobwhite quail are teeny tiny little specks. They're in the game. I really don't know, especially in my neck of the woods, how popular dove hunting is. I am shocked that that's not in the game. Be an interesting idea, but I think they shot themselves in the foot when they made the angler, kind of eliminating any sort of future potential fishing in this game, at least. Now, what I do think they need to do, sorry, Expansive Worlds, your latest Spanish map was doo-doo in my opinion. When I play that game, I still just play the very first OG map. Norway's cool, but again, there's that familiarity with North American species. But there's still like just an insane amount of North American fish though that they just haven't tapped into. But benefit of the doubt, it's a new game. They still got a long road ahead of them. But what I think they should do, because I would eat it up in a second, as much water as there is on this map and the ability to have boats, they need to add Call of the Wild maps to the Angler. Dang, y'all sick. It'd be cool, like, oh, where are we fishing today? We're fishing Layton Lakes tonight, you know? It would merge the two worlds together in a way that I think would be agreeable for both of them. One, it would be really cool to see what these maps would look like on their new engine. And two, it would just be cool. Especially with the explorability factor of that game, to where you can just go anywhere. I mean, it'd be cool just to, you know, do what we're doing now, except we got fishing gear instead of rifles. I'm like, alright, let's go check out this lake over here, see what we got going on. I know that it would eliminate a lot of the player base, but they really do need to let go of the old gen systems, because I feel like that's actually holding them back. And Jaxie today was kind of saying that in a roundabout way. Somebody on there was complaining about their PS4, how on PlayStation it doesn't render the water in because it's too old. It just can't handle it, and so they had to actually remove the water textures in order for the game to run. So I think we're at a point now, if we're still on the same kind of gen and older gen systems just can't run the game anymore, it's time to step it up a little bit. I have not killed the diamond black bug. That's definitely something we're keeping our eyes peeled for. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey. Calm your toes, sir. If they allowed everything to transfer over, I'm all in on a Call of the Wild 2. If it was exactly this, but looked like the Angler, I'm in. I don't know though, what they really need to do. We got another angry Boofaloo. But what I was saying was, honestly, just to keep this game alive, because if you think about it on a development level, the game's about 7 years old now, which in terms of a game engine actually isn't that old. I mean, look at Starfield and Call of Duty. Call of Duty is running on a game engine that's over 20 years old. Starfield that's running on a game engine that's 30 years old. So in those terms, this is still pretty young, shapeable, moldable game engine. And I feel like they could really do some amazing work when it comes to animal models. They could make those lifelike. They could, if they just wanted to take the time and do it, they can do it. Because what I'm worried about, you know, they always say careful what you wish for. Call of the Wild 2 would be great, but there's a potential that they could just ruin what makes this game great if they went and rehauled everything and changed everything up, you know? We got another piebald red deer. I don't know what they did to Wave the Hunter. I actually ended up buying it for PC because it runs so poorly now on the Series X. Before, when it first released, I was like, oh, this is awesome. But I don't know, they updated it and it was just... There you go. It's a decent black buck. Again, they're falling in that trap, and I already see they're talking about making the next generation of consoles, which I guess makes sense, but that was the... When they released like the PS5 and Xbox Series X, like nobody could buy them because they just weren't available. And realistically, that's continued for many years afterwards, so it was like a weird generation. But I think what we're doing is we're still trying to make old systems work when it's time to let go. It'd be like trying to make this game work for a 360 or a PS3. Oh, Rix, it wasn't a 9. Just kind of twiddling around here until I guess I could change time to water buffalo drink time, but what's the fun in that? But it's like, it's funny because in Wade the Hunter, their animal models like look hyper realistic, very realistic, most realistic I've ever seen in a video game. But the map, like at a distance, the map looks great, but like when you're looking at stuff up close, it's like, wow, this looks like crap. Saw those big horns and got excited. It is interesting though, I remember when Red Dead 2 came out and everyone was like blown away by the graphics. They were good, but like at the time, Call of the Wild's graphics were just as good. Red Dead was amazing, man. It's just, they did exactly what I was worried they were going to do. They made it, and then they were like, there it is. We're just not going to touch this game ever again. So go, thanks. DLC would be cool for this, but... Here's an unpopular take. I personally don't find GTA Online fun at all. It's just boring to me. Probably the friend group at the time that I was playing with, though, like the way and their mindset worked in the game, I was just like, ah, I'm not about this. So go, we're just going to run the same mission constantly so we can get faster cars to do the same mission faster next time. I'm good. say this though, when it blurs the line between realism and just having fun with a hunting game, nobody beats this game. Nobody comes close. I don't think anybody can come close, to be honest. And there are those out there that claim the game's not realistic enough. I challenge them to turn all the HUD off and turn tracks off. And then come back to me. You want a challenge? But the way I look at it though, I am, and this is where sometimes though, like way the hunter can be annoying to me, is because I hunt in real life. It's one of those, and this is the big problem I have with a lot of like fishing games too. It's like if I wanted to go through this kind of effort in this game, I would just go do it in real life. Like if I were to go through all this just to play a fishing game, I'm gonna go do it in real life. Way the hunter. It's okay. It's just arcadey enough to not be annoying, but it's like if it's too realistic, it's like, again, all right, I'm just gonna wait for bow season, you know? Alright, let's fast forward time a little bit, try to get some capes in. See if we got any 9s out here. Definitely kind of getting to a plateau here. We were off to an awesome start, and I was really expecting to find more craziness, but it's been a hot second. I really expected to find some cape or water buffalo down here. Perhaps not. I know where we'll find some though. I wish I had a tent a little bit closer. So the current stream schedule, every Monday, Tuesday, and then every other weekend. So like this weekend we'll be streaming, and then we're going to be off for the next weekend, if that makes sense. And the reason behind that is because, well, editing videos takes forever. So I definitely need to buffer some space out to where I can do all that stuff. On top of, you know, trying to get the Great One, you know, Great One grind and all that fun stuff. There's got to be a 9 legendary out there. Should have grabbed that 454. That way, if we got any that go aggressive, we can smoke them pretty fast. What's going on, Landon? Shoutouts, Headhunter. Tis a noble goal. Best advice I can give is just to keep at it, man. My current goal, and I don't even know if it's possible this year, is to hit 10,000. I don't know if it is. We just whiffed that shot. I feel like, yeah, I guess we did. He ain't going down. It's going to be kind of unfortunate if we don't run into any more along through here. I'm sure we will, though. We definitely made some content from this stream tonight, that's for sure. I didn't expect to get... I mean, we've got no diamonds, but we've got 3 rares. That's pretty good. Not bad for jumping back to an old map for nostalgia's sake. Headhunter Call of the Wild. You know, that sounds familiar to me. Has he visited the stream before? May have actually seen his videos. I don't know. Definitely wouldn't complain if we ran into a level 3 cinnamon teal. Normally I'd do what I call seasoning the map and actually try to shoot some of these males that we're seeing to get those future respawns, but we're also looking for need zones, so I don't want to like spook anything that might actually be hanging out that we don't see yet. Oh my gosh, of course, there it is. There's our 3 that I was just talking about. Where did he go? I don't think this is possible. Not at that range. Son of a gun. Okay, so this is what we need to do. We did get his need zone, 13 to 1500, so we're simply going to back up. Luckily, we have tents on us. We're going to get about 250 meters or so. Simply change time and hope that he's sitting there. What the heck? I literally just said I wouldn't mind seeing a level 3 cinnamon teal, and boom, first thing we see. This hunt just got interesting. I'm probably going to spend an egregious amount of time, unless we get lucky and he comes back first go, trying to get this guy back in his zone. We might even try like a hard reset too, just to try to ease this along a little bit. Change time several times to hope, kind of coerce them in. Wind is good. We might be a little close. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have very high hopes that he's sitting here, but he could be. Good news is we did get a zone, so... Oh, I have a tent up here. I didn't even realize that. That may be the move. We may remove that tent and actually come in that direction. It's a little bit further. Alright. We got nothing. Tell you what, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to remove this tent. We're going to hard reset the game. Kind of force everything back in. And then we're going to try to get this diamond. Now it's a patience game. Nervous. Waterfowl are definitely one of those that are very, very difficult once you spook them like that to actually get them to kind of come back and commit. We might maybe even, I mean, we got time. We could get some decoys out, set up, and try to do this a little more traditional, but man, fingers crossed he's just hanging out right up here in the water. It's not there yet, not to fear. We have a tent nearby. We're going to get change time just a little bit forward. Actually back. See what that does. Alright, the capes are back. That's a good sign. Worst case scenario here, we get close enough and one of these decides to tee off on us. We might have to go the decoy route. I don't see these guys anywhere. Ooh, unless that's... well, it's a different zone, but you never know. He could be with this group. Go ahead and hunker down. That group's just now showing up. Maybe this group is late to the party. Not any good cover here though, which is unfortunate. This is the hard part about waterfowl though. Tell you what, I think we're gonna do the setup. Why not? Let's get some cinnamon teal decoys. Actually need to buy a few things here. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a layup. Ooh, 16,000. Didn't realize they were that expensive. And then I need to make sure that I don't have any decoys before I get buying a bunch. I don't have any. So Jaxie Beard today in his stream said the perfect amount of decoys to have is 17. So that's what we are going to do. Let's deploy about 17 of these puppies. And I guess we should probably, I'm going to for now ditch the 243. We're going to get the 12 gauge shotgun out. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, rats, I didn't grab my... The only downside to doing this was we're going to be attracting every single bird from 500 meters around, so we're going to have to pinpoint where he's at. And who knows, he could be late to the party, he could be here right now. Man, I hope we find this guy. All right, it's a quick and hasty setup. Let's see if this works. Got a group coming in that's not rendered. Still haven't seen him yet, though. This is agonizing. And I don't want to shoot any others because I don't want to add hunting pressure. What's going on, White Raider? We're just trying to literally hunt a diamond cinnamon teal we just saw and spooked away. Problem is, by doing this, I knew this would happen, but we're calling every bird in the country in except for him, it seems like. Part of me almost too wants to just keep spending ridiculous amounts of money, changing time, and coming back here because this is his need zone. Just the question is, when is he going to come back to it? Well, that's not good. Pretty decent. Trying to, like I said, we're trying to get this bird to come in, but kind of on the struggle bus. Well, I appreciate you stopping by, Raider. Thank you. Man, this is one of those moments where it's like, what do you do? You know? What do you do? I'm gonna go check this group just to make sure he didn't kind of fold himself in with them. I'll say this, if he was part of that group, I'd have never seen him anyway. I didn't realize how many were in there, and they just took off like a freaking bat out of you-know-where. I don't think he was with them, though. I think we're going to try to time change it. Man, this stinks. Pulling out all the tricks of the trade here, man. The counting them in didn't work out at all. As annoying as it is going to be for you guys, I think we're just going to keep changing time repeatedly until he decides to show back up. Unless he's part of this giant group of birds coming in here. I don't think we're going to get that lucky, though. There he is, there he is, there he is. Okay, okay, okay. Please tell me you're going to land. Where is he going? Okay, I think they're coming back to land. Maybe let's edge a little bit closer. Get nervous. Wind is not in the best position for this, that's for darn sure. There he goes. Says he's eating. Son of a gun. Okay. Just going to keep an eye on him and try and confirm. Now, that said, if he flies over the top of us, we're absolutely going to be taking shots at him, but just don't want to lose sight of him. Really hoping he decides to land. Yes, okay. He's on the ground. Okay, there he is. 180 meters out. Let's get the 22. That's him. That's a hit. He's down. Let's go, baby. Woo, what a ride. That took actually not as long as I thought I was going to. I thought we were going to be there for another 45 minutes, to be honest. All right, here he is. Let's go, baby. Watch it, troll. It's a diamond. 469, 3 very easy cinnamon teal. Let's freaking go. All right, this hunt, straight up awesome. 3 rares, 1 diamond. We got a little bit of a hunt left in us. Just kind of roam around and see what else we can find. Boy, I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think he was gonna be coming back to us there. Now, I guess we can continue mission to see what we've got going on for Boofaloos. That was pretty much it. There was an albino red deer earlier, but I think I said that already. There's another cow. Oh, 1250, is that their max weight? I mean, I just saw, or I thought I saw the... Oh, shoot. He might be, Excuse me, I'm just trying to see which one of you is a max weight. Or a potential max. What's max weight for you guys? Is it 1250? Asking for a friend. There it is. Alright, so this dude's max weight, it's probably just an 8, maybe even a big 7. whatever he is, he should be noticeable. I don't... Listen. Back off. Yeah, Briggs, I think we should... Oh, you son of a... But yeah, Rex, I think we should definitely do that, because, I mean, I haven't visited mine in forever, and so far so good. I mean, there's a little bit of a lull, kind of like any hunt, I guess, but we're finding stuff. And I've not even really done a lot of exploring. I mean, there's a lot of ground here in Parkay, man, and some of that stuff's hard to find. There definitely could be a dimey dime. That's what I'm hoping, man, because I feel like most of the big species like Cape buffalo, water buffalo, and like bantang and bison, like, you look long enough, you're gonna find a 9 or a diamond. Of course, now I change time, and all right, his tracks are right over here. What's weird is 132's diamond for them. So that's a big black buck, but not quite diamond. Ooh, there he is. That's a 7 though. Dang it. It's a big dude. I did not mean to shoot him in the head, but we got the job done. Oh, yeah, I remember that now. That was a lot of fun. It's a throwback to what me and Rhino used to do all the time on this map when it first came out. And I feel like buffalo were a lot more, like, aggressive then too. I don't know. We've been attacked and killed several times already. Our old Speedy's doing over on Kick. I need to download Kick and actually go through the process of doing that so I can say what's up. I think he's like me and decided to kind of part ways with Twitch. I don't know. What time do you meal deer drink on Parkay? Let's see. 1500, so... course, now I don't have a gun that can shoot Black Buck. I mean, I guess I could shoot. He's not a diamond. I guess I could pop him for respawn. Actually, unless... Nope. Well, no. Well, where'd he go? Never mind. Things will straight come at you, man. Yeah, I think you're right. That was a tactical error on my part. Well, I also wanted to, like, it was an old school map, wanted to use an old school loadout, you know, but yeah, the Maraude would be goated, honestly, for this map. It could kill everything except for the water buffalo and the ducks. And kill it well. I need to bring that gun out more often because it's such a good gun. I just don't use it now. Hopefully, dude. Actually, this has been an all-around success for the last bit of the stream. I should shoot some red deer, honestly. That may be what we end up doing. Yeah, why not? Let's go shoot some red deer to finish this stuff out. That was a pretty good run. Had an excellent hunt on Parquet. But time to get back to work. It was fun while it lasted, but the whitetail frustrated me enough that I'm like, alright, I'm just sticking to red deer until we get this bad boy down. Also attempting a very half-hearted effort of herd management. I guess if I wanted to get serious about it, I'd go to my zones now that I'm not actively hunting and shoot those down, but I don't really feel like doing it. Rix is ready to get the piebald. I think it's time we start shooting fives. Let's see if I still got it with this gun. 240 to 250. We're going to aim right about there. Apparently I don't. Well, moving right along. This gun is not very good for this. Especially my setups where I'm shooting over 300 meters in most of them. Alright, we're starting fresh and I'm shooting the 5s. We'll leave the 3s, 4s, and 2s and all that good stuff. If we see a level 1 though, we're shooting him. We're not playing the track forever game though. Dang, Rex, dang. Same here. Well, we'll pretend that shot didn't happen. That would be my luck, though, right toward the end of the stream, have the great one show up. It felt like that. Seemed good, felt good, but it wasn't. Oh, you... Ugh. Love it when you fast travel to the tent and you end up behind the storage containers. Well, good, bad, or ugly, we got some wonky spawns going on right now. Of course he'd float across. Well, let's see if shooting those fives did anything. What's going on, Luke? Well, they all spawn back as fives here. We've got about 15 minutes or so. Well, we spent the majority of our time on my own Parque Fernando, which was actually pretty successful. We had 3 rares. We got a piebald axis deer, a piebald red deer cow, and an albino cow red deer. And then at the very end of it, we ended up shooting a diamond cinnamon teal. So it worked out pretty good. Oh, thanks, Luke. That's awesome. You didn't have to do that. No, that's annoying. He died inside the tent. We don't have any on us. Crap. Well, I appreciate it. That's too kind. Ooh, snap, that's a stud, Rix. Oh, I saw that rack. I was like, there we go. Finally a 9. We actually have all males over here, which it was all female, so something happened with the spawns. That's interesting. I'm actually going to change time. How in the world did we just shoot her in the face? Alright, well. Casualty of war, I guess. We're just over 5,000, so I'm definitely getting tired of shooting red deer. 100%. But it's kind of like a weird catch-22 because like while I'm beyond tired of it, I'm at the point now where literally every run could my great one could be standing there. Oh, that's why I don't see his body, because he's floating across. Let's have a moment of silence here for our red deer that we won't recover. Okay, so now there's no big red deer with that group. There's only a 5 over there. And see, this is the reason. Okay. Probably going to tear this setup back down again. I guarantee you if I were to go down here, this zone's loaded. We should probably check it. Well, it's pretty short and condensed. These lakes, this lake, this one, and I was hunting this one, but the spawns have shifted again, which is typical. But I just hope it's not somewhere that I don't not want them to be. Got 2 8s down here. I'd say this is where they went. Ooh, this is gonna hurt. That's a new group. What I might do is take these tents down and put one over here if these guys keep hanging out. I don't want to shoot them yet. I'm gonna keep tabs on these guys. I haven't seen red deer over there in a long time though, so I would say a lot of the groups that were hanging out here have just simply transitioned over. It's good as long as they're accounted for. I don't want them to be somewhere new and my great one just be hanging out with them. All right, we are going to do one more run through and then we're probably going to call it a night. I almost thought that was a Crab Rack 9, that 8, but he's a big old deceiver. I'm actually going to diamond dry streak. I don't know what happened, man. I was popping one like every 5 or 6 run-throughs, and now I haven't seen one in a long time. So fingers crossed that we get a great one slotted in there. Where did this red deer go? Is he floating across? There's his blood. Oh, he actually took a hike? We must have barely clipped long. I'd imagine that 8 went pretty decently far as well, unless he kind of circled back. What the heck? Well, what the heck? Where'd he go? I thought I just saw his body. No, because I'm standing on top of it. Yeah, that's a weird wonky, basically a crab rack. He's just gonna stand there and let us shoot him. Oh yeah, our tent's gone. Tell you what, just to save time, I'm not gonna fix that. If there's something crazy over there, we'll go over there. But if not, I'm not gonna shoot out of the zone this run through. Because we're at the end of our time here and I don't want to waste any more. A 7 over there and a 6. Alright, well, that'll be for the next one. Dude thought he was getting away. Not on my watch. Spawned at the wrong tent. Ball. Just to confirm what I'm thinking is going on here, and is, yeah, we're going to pull these tents. That's 3 more tents. That frees that up. We can put probably 2 down there, and then, I don't know. Figure it out. That'll be for another time. Check this last zone and call her good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate everybody that stopped by this evening. We're going to catch you on the next one. Hopefully Rix has some, you know, some Game Pass that he can do some multiplayer hunts with. I don't know, we'll see. But, yeah, I will catch you guys on the next one.